Welcome to What If History, the podcast where the myths that shaped the world are peeled apart, their gilded edges tarnished with the grime of reality. I'm Colin Holmes, your guide through these twisted timelines. Today, we descend into a history where King Arthur, Camelot, and their chivalric splendor weren't just stories, but a living, breathing nightmare. This isn't the Camelot of shining armor and noble quests. It's a rotting kingdom where ambition, betrayal, and dark forces churn beneath the surface. What if King Arthur was real? What if Camelot wasn't just a dream, but a dark and terrible reality? Camelot, a kingdom born in shadow. In this alternate timeline, Camelot isn't a gleaming bastion of virtue. It's a kingdom built on blood and riddled with whispered omens. King Arthur is no idealistic hero. He's a warrior king desperate to impose order on a chaotic world. The Round Table is not a symbol of equality, but a calculated attempt to bind fractious lords to his will. Its circular shape? A desperate illusion of unity, masking the deep cracks in Camelot's foundation. The city itself festers beneath its grandeur. By day, the streets teem with merchants hawking relics of dubious origin, dragon scales, and holy artifacts that stink of fraud. By night, shadows creep from the corners, and something ancient stirs in the crumbling underbelly of the castle. The peasants mutter of a curse that clings to the stones, a foul residue of the land Arthur claimed with Excalibur, a blade said to have been forged in fires not of this world. The Knights of the Round Table, fractured souls. Arthur's knights are no shining paragons. They are haunted men, each bearing scars not just of battle, but of something far darker. Lancelot's charm hides a soul frayed by forbidden lusts and shadowed dreams. Gawain is plagued by an unshakable sense of being watched, his compass forever pointing not north, but towards some unseen, hungry force. Percival's obsession with the Holy Grail has consumed him. His eyes gleam with a fervor that frightens even his brothers in arms. The Grail, he claims, whispers to him in his dreams, promising salvation, but hinting at a terrible cost. Quests are not grand adventures. They are harrowing descents into madness. Knights return to Camelot pale and broken, bearing trophies that radiate unease. A dragon's severed head that reeks of sulphur and despair. A shield etched with runes that no scholar dares to decipher. And worst of all, stories, of haunted forests that whisper names, of castles where the walls bleed, of monsters that laugh in the voices of long-dead kings. Guinevere, the Queen of Shadows. Guinevere is more than Arthur's queen. She is the true architect of Camelot's fragile order. Beneath her regal exterior lies a shrewd and calculating mind, a woman who navigates court intrigue as deftly as any swordsman. She negotiates treaties, quells rebellions, and holds the kingdom together with the sheer force of her will. Yet even she cannot escape the shadows. Her affair with Lancelot is more than a scandal. It is a fissure that threatens to swallow Camelot whole. The poets sing of forbidden love, but those close to the throne speak in hushed tones of something darker. Lancelot claims to see visions when he is with her. Visions of a great, writhing beast bound beneath the castle, its chains growing weaker with every act of betrayal. Merlin, the doomed prophet. Merlin is no kindly mentor. He is a being apart, a figure half mortal and half something else. His magic is not the playful trickery of children's tales, but a raw, terrifying force that bends reality to his will, and exacts a price. His eyes burn with knowledge too vast for a human mind, and his staff hums with a resonance that sets teeth on edge. He warned Arthur of Camelot's doom, his voice shaking as he spoke of a darkness older than the stars. But his warnings went unheeded. Now, he toils in his tower, crafting desperate spells to hold the kingdom together. The light from his chambers flickers, late into the night, casting eerie shadows that seem to move with a will of their own. Merlin's inventions, once seen as wonders, now inspire fear. His cannons roar like thunder, their flames green and unnatural. His wards on the castle walls writhe like living things. And still, he mutters of a reckoning that draws nearer with every passing day. The Saxons, the shadowed enemy. The Saxons are no mere barbarians. They are an army driven by cold logic and dark rites. Their leaders cloaked in the symbols of gods that demand blood. Their war banners bear sigils that make even Camelot's bravest knights hesitate. They fight without honor, without mercy, their strategies precise and relentless. Each battle is a nightmare made flesh. The Saxons' warriors move like a tide, their chants echoing with a resonance that drowns out the clash of swords. Arthur charges into the fray with Excalibur blazing, but even the sacred sword cannot turn back the tide forever. For every Saxon that falls, two more rise, their eyes glowing with an unnatural light. The fall of Camelot. In the end, Camelot collapses under the weight of its sins. Mordred, Arthur's bastard son, rises not as a mere rebel, but as a harbinger of doom. He speaks of a vision, a kingdom swallowed by darkness, its people twisted into unrecognizable forms. His rebellion tears the Round Table apart, knights turning on each other as paranoia and despair consume them. The final battle is a slaughter. Mordred and Arthur clash on a field drenched in blood, their blades ringing out against a sky that churns with unnatural storms. When the dust clears, both lie dead, and the Saxons descend upon what remains of Camelot like vultures. The castle's great halls echo with the laughter of something vast and malevolent, its chains finally broken. Camelot, a legend of ruin. Camelot's story is not one of glory, but of hubris, a kingdom that dared to rise too high and was dragged down into the abyss. Its shining towers crumble, its banners rot, and its people vanish into the fog of history. What remains is a warning, whispered in the dark, that even the greatest dreams can become the most terrible nightmares. If this journey through Camelot's shadowed legacy stirred your imagination, subscribe to What If History. Leave a review, share it with your bravest friends, and join me next time as we delve into another timeline where history took a dark and twisted path. Until then, remember, legends are born of ambition, but they are remembered for their ruin. Cheers. Ruin.